This video was made possible by Mizizi International, the official African diaspora clothing brand. Visit mizizishop.com for more information. It is no secret that African nations have consistently criticized the complex and drawn-out visa application processes required by European countries, arguing that these restrictions stifle economic development, tourism, and academic exchange. As such, these nations have called for a more streamlined system allowing easier travel between the continents. However, it appears the visa rules for African countries are only getting tougher by the minute. Indeed, two stunning developments have just arisen regarding the visa rules for African countries. The European Union has just tightened the visa rules for Ethiopians, and on the same day, the Republic of Ireland announced plans to consider halting visa-free travel for South Africans. Before we dive into our topic today, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channels and ringing the bell to be notified about all our exciting future videos. The European Union is increasing visa requirements for Ethiopians in reaction to Ethiopian government's alleged lack of cooperation in repatriating those who entered Europe illegally. As a result of the changes, the EU has stated that the visa processing time for Ethiopian nationals will triple from 15 to 45 days, and thus waiving requirements for certain papers will no longer be permitted. The EU said that Ethiopian officials and diplomats obtain travel visas. Multiple entry visas will also no longer be allowed. The European Commission attributed the new requirements to a lack of response from Ethiopian authorities with regards to readmission requests, as well as inadequacies in the organization of both voluntary and non-voluntary return operations. The limits come as European nations attempt to stem the influx of refugees fleeing war-torn African countries into Europe. Meanwhile, Ireland is considering removing its visa-free travel policy for South African nationals to decrease the influx of asylum seekers. The United Kingdom established visa requirements for South African passport holders in 2009, citing safety concerns stemming from the abuse of South African passports. However, the Republic of Ireland kept its visa-free entrance policy for South Africa, but this privilege could be jeopardized if Ireland revokes the visa-free access agreement. Warnings have been made regarding Zimbabwean and Democratic Republic of Congo nationals using South African passports to enter the country. According to the Irish Department of Justice, 198 asylum applicants came into Ireland this year with South African passports, representing more than 3% of the total number of asylum applicants in the country so far. Ireland anticipates that the number of applicants will only increase, and as such is implementing measures such as these to tighten the existing measures. The recent tightening of visa rules by the European Union for Ethiopians and the potential halting of visa-free travel for South Africans by Ireland reflect a worrying trend of increasing barriers for African travelers. These developments, purportedly in response to issues such as illegal migration and asylum seeking, are being branded by some as discriminatory and unnecessary. Such measures not only hinder economic development, tourism, and academic exchange, but also perpetuate long-standing travel restrictions Africans face globally. According to a report from the Henley and Partners, Africa topped the list of visa refusers in 2022, despite having the lowest number of visa applications per capita. The rejection rates for African applicants for Schengen visas are generally 10% higher than the global average, 3 times higher than the highest rejection rate, and 10 times higher than for Americans. Despite justifications based on security or economic concerns, many experts say that the disproportionate rejection rates for African visa applicants compared to the global average suggest that inherent bias in the European visa system, further exacerbating the challenges faced by African travelers. Your perspective matters. What do you make of the EU's visa restrictions for Ethiopians, as well as Ireland's new visa restrictions for South Africans? Are these restrictions justified? Share your thoughts and insights in the comment section below. For continued updates on global affairs and diplomatic developments, be sure to subscribe to the New Africa channel. Stay informed, stay engaged. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more insightful content in the future.